Woodward Sports Network, let's go!
Man, what a beautiful sunrise we had this morning right here on Woodward in downtown Birmingham. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick. To my right.
Good morning, it's Corey.
I like that, Corey. You're a little more formal this morning. You said good morning.
Yeah.
I like that. And Joey.
It is Joey. Hi. Good morning.
Good job, Joey.
Good morning.
And over there is Art on producer cam, along with Adam lurking in the background to make sure Art does not screw up this morning. Art, does that bother you when someone stands behind you when you're working?
No, not really, just when it's Adam.
Just when it's Adam. And then we got Fish in the studio doing his fishy thing today. We got lots to talk about. Obviously, the Super Bowl is coming up in 4 days, so we're going to get into some Super Bowl talk. The legend of Detroit sports, Terry Foster, is going to be on with us coming up at 9 a.m. The Let Us Play or Let Them Play is starting to really pick up steam, and we're going to be talking a lot about that coming up later on in the show. Plus, we'll go over some of the dumbest plays in Super Bowl history. You guys have a good night? Everybody have a good night last night?
Oh, I slept like a champ, so I'm having a great morning.
What time did you go to bed last night, Corey?
I don't know. I just know I was watching reruns of, on Amazon Prime, I was watching Suits, and I just fell asleep.
All right, Joey, what'd you do last night?
So I went to hoop yesterday night, and let me just tell you guys, your boy went 5-0 on the court yesterday. Cleaned them out until they shut the gym at 10 o'clock. So it's my first time I've done that in a long time.
What, one?
Yeah, one without losing.
All right, yeah.
The worst is playing pickup ball because the gym that I go to has only got one court. So you lose, you're waiting like an hour.
You can't just call next on the next one?
Nope.
All right. Yeah, I did pretty much what Corey did last night. Yeah, I watched I watched that Pelicans game, and Zion is no joke, dude.
I heard he balled out yesterday.
The dude is a bully. Like, just a straight-up bull. It's not fair. It's almost like he's a different species compared to these huge men. Like, he's just bullying 7-footers. Frank, that was the dude's name. Frank from Wisconsin. Remember him?
Okay, now I think I remember.
Yeah, he was just getting abused last night. But it was a great night of basketball. I miss watching really good basketball. Like, the past 2 nights, we've had really good basketball games. You know, Zion last night and the Brooklyn Nets game before that with the Clippers was great. But let's get into it, Joey. Let's start the day off with Joey's News.
Listen, you started off talking about Zion, and he was one of my favorites coming out of high school, and I literally used to watch every single game. And now, sadly, we can't watch these high school students play. So I wanted to give a shout-out to the Let Them Play rally that happened over the weekend in Lansing on Saturday that we did attend, Stick and I, and it was just amazing. Darren McCarty even showed up, talked to the kids. Well, today the students and some faculty along with coaches are going to be talking at 3 o'clock. And yesterday there were a lot of rumors saying that we're going to get what we've been waiting for, and that is the kids to come back and play. So hopefully
today could be the day that they reinstate high school sports for Michigan?
It could. There was a lot of sources yesterday just saying, hearing from multiple sources that it's going to be back coming soon. So
all right.
I'm thinking that that's what's going to be, and I hope. Fingers are crossed for the high school kids.
Yeah, we'll talk about that and give an update later on in the show, but that's great news. That is great news.
Yeah, I was so happy. Corey, was it you, Corey, that was running, showing it on your phone yesterday?
Nah.
I get it wrong every day. I don't know who it was. Whoever it was in the building, thanks for showing me that. The Detroit Red Wings, though, embarrassed again by the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-1. And I'm just stopping with my betting for the Detroit Red Wings. And I know the first day I bet against them, they're going to win.
Right. Yeah, Mantha had that breakaway goal, but outside of that, 0 highlights from that game. Zero highlights.
Yeah, Anthony Mantha had a good slow start to the season, but now he's starting to get his little thing going. So now we move on to the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff. You see this graphic on the screen right now. It was Jared Goff saying his goodbye to L.A. and hello to Detroit. Nice little farewell message.
Yeah, I liked how he ended it, too.
Yeah, he ended it by saying, what did he say, Detroit?
Read the graphic, man.
I don't have the graphic on here. Let me see. I forgot what he said exactly.
I can read it.
You want me to read the whole thing?
All right, yeah. He said, with that said, I couldn't be more excited for this next chapter, and I'm ready to attack this new opportunity that lies ahead. Detroit, here I come.
Detroit, here I come. And then TJ Hawkinson actually sent a message to him this morning, and we retweeted that on our Twitter. And shout out to everybody watching us on Twitter right now, on YouTube, and on Facebook. We appreciate you. Drop a comment. Let us know where you're from. I want to see where everybody's watching from this morning. So if you're on YouTube, Drop a comment if you're on Twitter. Tweet us where you're watching. And if you're on Facebook, let us know what city you're representing this morning.
And he started off by saying, thanks to L.A. for believing in a 21-year-old kid and welcoming him with open arms. Detroit, man, we're going to welcome him even bigger.
Right.
So I know that.
I mean, we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We need to now.
Right. He's our boy now, man.
Yeah.
So you got to support him.
Hey, low-key, though, imagine moving from L.A. to Detroit. How tough's that got to be, just weather-wise and all that?
I would love it. I hate California. You know that.
Yeah,
So
I don't care for it, but just the weather.
Oh man, I can't. It was rough for me. I mean, I'm not LA, but I lived in Florida off and on for 2 years. So having to come back to Michigan was a bit of a struggle for me because it's something about waking up and seeing the sun every morning that does something to your spirit.
Does your body change because you get so
Absolutely.
used to the sun?
At least for me, yeah, absolutely. Seasonal depression is real, at least in my case.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact, like I said, I was able to see the sun every day. And then also, too, with it being so hot and the weather was warm, I was never inside my house.
Well, moving on, I was still talking on the Lions. A Hall of Fame coach turned NFL analyst Bill Cowher came out to say that he never thought the Lions were a tough team, but Dan Campbell will change that. So it is crazy seeing some of the most respected players in the NFL coming out standing up for Dan Campbell.
Bill Cowher is the epitome of a tough football guy.
Yeah.
Like, I've wanted Bill Cowher to be the Lions coach since he retired, essentially, from the Steelers. I always thought they had a chance to get a Bill Cowher type. And if he's saying Dan Campbell's a Bill Cowher type, I'm on board.
Probably reminds him of himself. That's why he went ahead and said that comment. I mean, all of the Steelers teams from the 90s, they were tough, and Bill Cowher was the guy who instilled that culture in them. So it's not that shocking that Bill Cowher would say something like that.
And he's got that chin, man. That Bill Cowher, I can't even do it with my chin. Like, his chin just looks like it's made out of iron.
It's like a bulky chin.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon character.
And one thing on that's not just any coach. That is a Super Bowl winning coach and somebody who just recently inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So when Bill Cowher speaks even on anything, especially football, people are going to listen.
A couple assistant coaches that we are adding to the team: Todd Wash
For the Lions?
Seth Ryan,
Yep.
Calvin Shepard, and Brian Duker.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, so we got a whole squad right now, and I just wanted
Rex
to.
Ryan's grandson, right?
Yeah,
Or
it's
Buddy Ryan's grandson. Rex
Yeah.
Ryan's son.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just wanted to give a quick little shout out to Northwestern Tech. You know, it is the perfect time to learn a trade or even start an entire new career. So you got to learn more about their 10.5-month hands-on HVAC program. Just do yourself a favor. Go to northwesterntech.edu. Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works.
And I love it. I asked people to drop where they were from, and we got everything: Plymouth, South Lyon, Waterford, Belleville, Arizona, Bryan, Ohio, and I love this one: Ionia, which is on the west side of the state, at the Michigan Reformatory MDOC prison. I'm a worker, not a resident.
Hey.
So you had to specify that. So Russell, thank you for checking us out this morning. We appreciate you. So here we go, man. We're 4 days away from the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a great game. We've been discussing it around here just nonstop. And really, the question is, does Mahomes need to win this Super Bowl to ever have a chance of catching Tom Brady as the greatest of all time?
Man.
And that, to me, that's the biggest question. And I have a bunch of other subtopics in this, but that's how I wanted to kick this off. Because if you think about it, Tom Brady, if he wins the Super Bowl, he's 7-3 in Super Bowls. That's going to be damn hard to
Hell
get
yeah.
to. 6-4 is not as impressive. That's almost 500% or 500. That's not exactly where you want to be. But if Mahomes loses to Tom Brady, that could potentially always be the trump card, even 10 years down the road from now. Like, oh, even if he has 7, well, you did lose to Tom Brady, so that head-to-head matchup, I don't know. So what do you think, Corey? Do you think Mahomes has to win this year to ever be able to catch Tom Brady?
No, I don't think he has to win this one to be considered better than Tom Brady. To be considered better than Tom Brady, he has to do either one or two things for me. He has to, one, have that same continued success over the 2 decades like Tom Brady has, or he has to win more in a shorter amount of time than Tom Brady to be considered better than him. Either one of those two things, because right now he's going up against the greatest quarterback of all time, and I think that being Brady, there's no shame in losing to him in a Super Bowl or any team that he's up against. So I don't think that this game, whether he wins or lose, moves the needle for him above Brady or not.
Okay.
When you look at it, I mean, he's been in the NFL for 4 years now, right? So he's been to the Super Bowl 2 out of those 4 years.
Right.
So right now he's pacing at 50%.
Which is Tom Brady.
Which is Tom Brady.
10 out of 20.
And he's 25 years old. So, I mean, if he follows the Tom Brady, he's still got 18 years left of football. I don't think he'll last that long, but, I mean, he's 2 out of 4 right now. You look at 10 Super Bowl appearances.
Right.
And, I mean, yeah, the Chiefs are probably going to be a contender in the Super Bowl every single season if things stay the same. But it's just Tom Brady right now for what he did. It's one thing to do it on one team, but it's another when you go to a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in 2007. Your previous team doesn't make the playoffs. You take him to the Super Bowl, not only the playoffs in that first season, and then if he wins this on top, you can't compete with that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If Brady wins this, it'll almost be impossible for Mahomes to reach Brady-level status ever just because of the sheer numbers. And like you're talking about, he would have to make the Super Bowl more than 50% of the time, get a better winning record, and then you would still have the debate, well, you know, Tom Brady knocked him out of the playoffs the first time they played when Tom Brady was with the Patriots, and then they met in the Super Bowl, and Tom Brady won again. I think Mahomes has to win this game if he ever wants to get in that Tom Brady conversation.
I don't know. I think I disagree with that. I just feel that he just has to win as much. I mean, because the thing is, when it's all said and done, barring injury, Patrick Mahomes is going to own every passing record imaginable. So that's why I just say that he just has to win at least close to the same amount of Super Bowls. He's going to surpass Brady in just about every statistic there is if he doesn't get injured.
I mean, you look at all the quarterbacks, too, that he's beat to get to this Super Bowl. I mean, he's gone through
Brady?
some. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brady went through the gauntlet.
He literally went through the gauntlet. And it's just like, I mean, it's one thing to get to 10 Super Bowls. But, dude, like, the guy's just freaking killing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying. That's why I like this question, though, because let's just project down the road. Okay, Patrick Mahomes makes it to 10 Super Bowls. They have the same record in the Super Bowl. Let's say, you know, Patrick Mahomes is 7-3 and Brady is 7-3. We're gonna look back to this game to decide who was greater.
Yeah,
because that will be the only deciding factor. Well, the one time they did play head-to-head in the Super Bowl, Mahomes lost and Brady won.
I don't know. I just don't. I just don't view it that way. I don't want to regurgitate it, but right now they're 2-2 against each other in heads up. I think it will do. I would say this though, for him to be considered better than Brady, it will go a long way if he beats him when it matters the most.
Yes,
and that's in the Super Bowl when it's mattered the most, which is the one time they played in the AFC Championship game. He did end up losing, and when it's an overtime game, you get the ball in Brady's hand. It's pretty much a wrap. So it will go a long way for his argument of possibly eclipsing Brady, but I don't think that it hinders him that much if the Chiefs take an L.
Yeah, and the first time these two met in the playoffs, Art has some footage of that, and it was such an amazing game, man. What a shootout between these two. But, yeah, I really want to see, you know, we're projecting, obviously, 10, 15 years down the road because we don't know. Mahomes could go to 20 Super Bowls and win them all. We don't know that.
Let's just say this. Let's say on Sunday, Patrick Mahomes throws for, let's say, 400 yards, 400 yards, 3-4 touchdowns, but his defense lets him down. Then I really couldn't say that was really on Mahomes losing that game.
That's how it is, though.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's how it is. Like, you give
Brady
the credit for his losses against the Giants and the Eagles. Like, those are on your record, man. That's on the resume.
This ain't Bucks versus Chiefs. This is Brady versus Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's so true, especially when you get to the Super Bowl. It's all on the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not all on the quarterback, but obviously with who's been remaining in the playoffs, you see that the quarterback kind of a big position.
Yeah, it's not always on the quarterback. I'll save that reason why when we get into our dumbest Super Bowl plays. But like, you know, I think for Mahomes to win his argument, I would like him to get more Super Bowls in a short amount of time. So let's say he goes 7 for 8.
Oof, God.
I mean, but if he loses Sunday, but he ends up 7 for 8.
Oh man.
I mean, kind of hard to. not put him in that category.
It is. It really is. But, like, if we're just talking shop, I could always be like, yeah, but when they played head-to-head, what happened? And that could always be your trump card. And vice versa, too. If Mahomes beats Brady and sends him out 6-4 in the Super Bowl, and then Mahomes ends up winning 6, it's going to be like, well, when they played head-to-head, he stopped Brady from getting his 7th.
Then it's going to come down to stats at that point.
Right.
Like, you got to see what they did throughout their career, touchdown to turnover ratios, just a lot of factors to something like
God,
this.
both these guys are such amazing quarterbacks.
Oh my God! You're looking at stats.
No, I'm looking at the footage that's playing right now. The first time they met in the playoffs, it's just amazing throw after amazing throw, amazing read, like just no mistakes, just smart football.
Here's the one thing that Brady does have going for him, which I think it's kind of odd. Brady does not lose. In my opinion, he does not lose to quarterbacks that are at that time on his level. Like, he's lost to Eli twice, and then Nick Foles.
Isn't that the most like funny thing in sports history? Is that Eli Manning is Tom Brady's kryptonite?
Oh yeah,
Like, of all people, the most goofy, weird. Like, he had talent.
You can kick the brother who's the superior brother's ass, but the younger brother who's probably a fringe, and I say fringe Hall of Famer, you can't beat him.
So Vegas has some odds out, and Fish kind of touched on these prop bets yesterday. He touched on one of them. Mahomes is 15-1 to throw 0 TDs. Wow. And he's only done that once in his entire career. Brady is 40-1 to throw 6 TDs.
Sheesh.
So if you're on my bookie and you got a little bit of cash, which prop bet are you taking? Are you taking Mahomes 15-1 for 0 TDs? Or are you taking Brady 40-1 with 6 TDs?
6 TDs, like no debate.
No debate?
No debate. Like
yeah, 0.
He's got more of a chance of making 6 touchdowns than the latter. Like there's no debate with that. I'd rather take that bet.
What do you think, Corey?
Ooh, I gotta ponder that one. That's pretty interesting.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had $100, obviously I'm going to the 40-1 odds or the 40-1 odds because I want to cash out on that bitch. And I've seen Tom Brady throw 6 touchdowns before several times. Patrick Mahomes throwing 0 touchdowns. It's only happened once in his entire 4-year career, so I doubt that's going to happen in the Super Bowl.
Man, Brady throwing 6 touchdowns. I don't even think I've never seen him throw that much in the postseason. That would be interesting.
But this game's going to be wide open.
Oh, yeah.
Wide open. So, yeah, I think 6 touchdowns. Joey, if I gave you $100, told you to go to my bookie right now and gamble on this prop bet, who are you taking?
Honestly, I'd rather take Brady throwing 8 touchdowns before taking 0. Like 0 is just unheard of in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, it's unheard of for Patrick Mahomes.
For them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for them, yeah.
But I could see Mahomes running the ball in. I could see, a couple reverses, some trick plays happening, and maybe it happens where he throws 0 touchdowns, but damn.
Actually, hold up.
Vegas thinks it's more likely to happen than Brady throwing 6, which is
and that's probably a testament to the Bucs defense. I mean, their defense, the games against them have been close. Their last game was decided by a field goal when they played this season. So, I can see why they have it that way. I just don't think that when in this game, when we're talking about Mahomes' legacy right now. He knows that if we're talking about it, he knows that the whole world is talking about it. So I don't think Mahomes is going to come in this game timid and shy. Brady's won their first 2 matchups. Mahomes has won the last 2. He's going to figure out a way to get a touchdown.
You know what's crazy is when you think about it, you guys are comparing like what Mahomes has to do, and the list is so long that it's like for him, Joey had mentioned it too, he's been in the Super Bowl, 2 times out of the past 4 years that he's been in. It's such a long list, though. Like, here's what you have to accomplish, and it's like the CVS receipt. Like, it's just like,
literally.
It's so long to where it's. I feel like people are giving Mahomes too much credit, that it's too early in his career to even start having those conversations.
And it kind of is because, we can go back to like a Dan Marino. We can even go back to an Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl in his 3rd year and then hasn't been back. Like, it's good that Mahomes has gotten back so quickly, but that doesn't guarantee you're ever going to get there again.
What's important in this game more than anything is the pocket game. You look at Tom Brady's pocket, it's so tight. You look at Mahomes, he's going back yards to get that pass pass
the
out
wheels.
or to rush. Yeah, so to me, that's the most important aspect of this game is not so much who can throw farther, but who can get out of the pocket to not get blitzed.
Yeah, well, Tom Brady is just great at getting rid of the ball fast, so that's why he doesn't really need to have. And he is. If you watch Brady, he obviously doesn't have the athleticism of a Mahomes, but his pocket presence and awareness
It's
is
so
off
tight.
the charts.
It's so tight, though.
And he looks so calm in there while guys are flying by him. He's just like, do, take a little step forward, take a little step. Oh, okay, here you go, dump down, Godwin, touchdown, boom, easy.
We see how big Joik is, right? Like, not to kiss his butt or anything, but he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's
Imagine having he's thick.
He's thick. Joik's thick.
Yeah,
he's not
he's
a
wide.
big dude.
He's
Imagine
wide.
having someone like Sue come after you, and you've got a ball, and you're supposed to remain, calm and collective, and you're playing like Brady, to where you're playing in a tight pocket. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Tom Brady got that swag, man.
I mean, come on. Tom Brady is swag. Just look at his Instagram videos.
Dude,
I love the him and Gronks.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite videos ever.
Yeah, he's just an entertaining guy. All right, so continuing on the Brady versus Mahomes, what would be more impressive to you guys? 2 Super Bowl wins before the age of 25 or 2 Super Bowl wins after the age of 40?
Definitely 2 Super Bowls after the age of 40 because let's just be real. No quarterback at that age, we've never seen a quarterback at that age play at this high of a level. Right now, Mahomes is entering his prime, so he should be doing what he's doing, be based off what we've seen. He shouldn't have an MVP season and then fall just off the face of the earth. He should be getting better, especially at that age. Brady really should not be here, and that's just a testament to how damn good he is.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you really think about it because when you look at it, the best quarterbacks always get drafted to the worst teams. So that usually, on paper,
Right.
Because they're the earliest drafts. But when you have this comparison with Mahomes, it's just a completely different thing because to Corey's point, I mean, when you're over the age of 40, in basketball, that's crazy. We're talking football.
Yeah.
Taking these hits at quarterback, like at kicker, maybe I'll let you slide, go play till you're 50 or something. But at quarterback, the hits that you got to take, that's got to be the most impressive.
Yeah, and I go back and forth on this. Like, obviously, it's super impressive. Nobody has ever done what Tom Brady. He's going to be the oldest player ever to play in a Super Bowl.
Whoa.
And not just, like you said, not just a long snapper like Don Muehlbach that's in there, taking 4 plays a game, and that's his specialty, or it's not the punter that's never getting touched.
Right.
This is Tom freaking Brady.
And
He's
Ndamukong Suh charging at you. No, that's on his team. Never mind.
No, Ndamukong
Other
Suh,
team.
yeah.
Other team.
Wrong team, but still. Either way, I mean, he's got guys coming at him constantly. Tom Brady, man, he is just a freak of nature.
I mean,
Sorry, go ahead.
no,
Corey.
go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask a question. How much do you think the injury with Mahomes' toe? I mean, sure, it's only a toe injury, but someone had mentioned in the comments, 1 sack from Sue, you're hurting, and he's already got a toe injury from the past, from the last game. He's had some time to get it together. But what are your thoughts on that?
On his toe injury?
Yeah.
I think it's a non-issue at this point. 2 weeks off for, turf toe, and then he essentially took the week off before that. And I love the quote. I forget which coach said it, but they were like, don't be fooled by his old man jog. Like, because when you see him jogging, he literally looks like an old man.
On his way to bingo.
Yeah, like he's dragging his feet, and he looks like everything hurts, and then the play comes, and dude's running 400 miles an hour. I'm not really concerned about it at this point. I was more concerned about it than his concussion during that game. But after that game, I think he's had enough time to heal.
Yeah, that was new Jets head coach Robert Saleh who said that.
Oh, Saleh said that? Okay.
Yeah, don't be confused about old man John. Yeah, I mean, that issue, that is not going to be an issue at all. I mean, now, Sue can hit anybody and knock them out for the game. So I don't think it's just because of the injury. I think if Sue gets his hands on him just in general, that could be bad business. But
To put in perspective, this comment is amazing. Steve Dock saying, I'm 43 and happy to get out of bed before my alarm goes off.
I feel you, Steve. And I like Garrett just posted that he had turf toe, and this has been plenty of time to heal, so he thinks he's going to be okay.
How much would it take for you guys to take a hit from Sue? Let's be honest. Like, how much money?
Zero. I do it for
zero.
free. I do it for free.
You're delusional.
Why am I delusional?
You're delusional.
we
No
talk-
one would
what-
do
what-
that for free.
The defined hit. Are we talking
Like,
about?
he comes across, like, you got ball in hand, like, you're getting ready to throw.
And I got on pads?
You got on pads?
Why not? I could say I took a hit from Sue.
See, Corey and I are in the same.
Okay,
sure.
just to
Just
cover
like-
medical bills.
Just like the same reason I think I could tackle Joik.
or that you could take on John Jones. Like,
Yeah, but it's
there's-
opportunities that
that's
you
more in
never
fun.
will come across. How many people outside the NFL
But
can
how
say, "Oh, I
much
took a
money
hit"?
would it take? Because there's got to be guys. I mean, you're gonna have to pay for medical bills at least.
All right, look. I know you don't not a fan of pro wrestling. I know you think it's fake and all that, but look, CM Punk said something so real. He said that he went up to Stone Cold Steve Austin in the back and asked him to give him a stunner, and he said, "Well, damn, nobody's asked me that before." He said, "Well, why not? Why would I not take a stunner
Yeah,
from
it's on a
Steve
bucket
Austin?"
list, but a neck injury.
But
or
are we really going to compare fake wrestling moves? I mean, come on. I'll take any wrestling.
Get him,
move.
Corey.
I'll take a Hulk Hogan boot to the face
I'll
because
take a
it's
chair.
not actually
I'll
a
take
boot
the
to the.
chair.
Yeah, I'll take a fake chair.
I'm just talking about in the context of like once in a lifetime moments.
Fake ass chair.
No,
you
I-
can't even sit on them foldables.
If I'm talking Ndamukong Suh gets a 10-yard running start to just clobber me, is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
like I'm talking about like you've got ball in hand, you're on the field, like it's just you and him to where he has free range to just knock you unconscious.
Yeah.
You're saying you would do it for free.
For the experience, yeah, I probably would.
You're
man.
insane.
That's
Come
how much I
on,
love
you really
sports.
would
Like
not do
someone
that.
asked, have you ever put on football pads though? Have you ever taken a hit?
Bro, do you know my sports history?
Exactly. So, like, you know, I've been hit hard before. Obviously, not by somebody that of Ndamukong
There's no
Suh's
way.
stature.
If someone was to ask me, hey, Conor McGregor gets to knock you in the jaw, how much would it cost? I'd say at least 20 racks. At least.
Well, that's a little different.
That's completely different.
It's
That's
not
Guaranteed
different.
injury.
Yeah, that's somebody punching you right in the face.
How is it not similar to getting your skull and your chest encased from a suit?
Protection.
You're getting
You got equipment.
you're getting tackled, not a straight on face shot. That's nowhere near comparable.
Yeah, because if you ask me the same question, how much would it take to let Ndamukong Suh punch me in the face? Now we're talking money, baby.
You act as though like the pads and the helmet make you invincible. Like whiplash, concussions, like cracked sternum, like a broken collarbone. All this stuff happens. Like football isn't a baby sport. Me, it's costing at least 20 racks. Like I'm not doing it for free. There's no way.
Listen,
Kind
man.
of like bumper cars, you know?
You are drunk.
Driving around, you just get hit, caught off guard.
Listen, I
Damn,
know it would
you move
hurt,
forward.
but if I have an opportunity to get a fake sack by a potential Hall of
It's not
Fame
a
player,
fake sack. Sue, if you are watching this and you've got some Detroit pride here, come visit soon and you can sack stick for free.
Yeah.
You're insane.
I
You're
have
insane.
a picture of me and Ndamukong Suh because we played in a wheelchair basketball charity event together.
That is the most random story ever.
Oh no, that wheelchair basketball is one of my favorite things to do every
Heck
year
yeah.
in
Yeah.
Detroit. Like, and the guys that actually play professional wheelchair basketball are
Oh,
amazing.
man.
My dumb ass out there without gloves, ripping my fingers, trying
The
to
worst
stop the
pain
wheel
in the world.
Oh my god. But yeah, Ndamukong Suh, he's my height, but he's built like Joik. Like he is just an intimidating dude. Like I was impressed by the size of that man.
Do you think that you could go uninjured if he was to sack you one time? I don't think you could. If
Potentially.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
It's just
I don't
a
know.
risk.
It depends on how he hits.
you guys are acting like you're Superman. It's pissing me
You're
off.
acting like I'm a little bitch that anybody touches me. I'm
You
just
would
gonna
not
go
be
and
not
die.
uninjured. You would be injured. I guarantee you. If he came at you full blast, you would be concussed. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. When you guys are crazy. You're not putting up 10, 20 racks to get hit by an NFL superstar. You're
Tyreek
nuts.
Hill, 5'10", 185 pounds. He's taking the beating hits, and I know he's working out. I know he's in
He's
shape.
a professional.
Yeah, those guys
I
are
know,
built like houses.
I know, but it's still like you're just taking one hit. I'm not saying I could go out on the football field and whip his ass. I'm saying one hit.
Yeah, if it's one hit in pads and I'm just taking a sack, then I'm okay. I'm not going to ask for any money. But like I said, if you lined up Ndamukong Suh and like, hey, how much would it take to let this guy punch you in the face? Now I'm talking 20
Right.
racks.
Well, like
Okay,
a
so
helmet's
if
a
we
helmet
could set
hit.
it up to get any NFL player
Mm-hmm.
that could sack you, you're saying right now, if we get a waiver signed by the NFL or whatever,
Yeah.
you would do it for free.
Yeah.
You
Like
are
you think
insane.
every sack that happens, someone dies?
No, I'm saying that injuries are real, and we are built like pieces of paper compared to these guys.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
and
no, these
you
guys-
will literally. There's no way you don't get concussed.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I don't know if we can get Sue, but I am pretty cool with Jason Jones. I'm gonna reach out to him and see if
Please do.
he watched. He said he was gonna try to come on the show one day, so I'm gonna reach out to him and see if we can set it up where you could take a sack from a former defensive end.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yo, I can't wait.
Listen,
this is gonna be fit as stick.
You're acting like I'm just gonna stand there like a dummy and just like
That's
all
what
of a
I'm
sudden just
talking
get
about.
railed.
Taking a direct hit.
Yeah, but I still have the ability to stiff arm him, try to get
Bro,
away.
you are
fall different.
delusional.
Now he's breaking arm and a sternum.
No, like There's ways to fall, Art. There's ways to take hits. Like, this is what happens.
This isn't skateboarding. This is literally a monster.
You're
coming
talking
after
about
you.
a sport you've never played.
I know. I see it all the time. I don't want to play it.
Honestly, I'd rather do this than skateboard.
Yeah,
That's like guaranteed injury for me.
I would die on a skateboard.
Yeah.
You guys are nuts.
So yeah, I would definitely take the hit. Joey would take the hit. Corey, you'd take the hit, just for the story of it. Like, I could tell my
exactly
kids.
it.
Your sister said, "Please don't let my brother die."
Listen, Kendra, you know I've done a lot dumber shit in my life. I could definitely take a hit from Indomitian soon. Indomitian, if you're watching, you're one of my favorite people of all time.
Please
Players.
hit me.
You know what?
Please don't hit me too hard.
You know what? Hold on. I gotta rethink this. I just remembered something. I got checked into a wall by Braylon Edwards, and that hurt like hell. I don't know,
Bro,
That was without
now
pads.
Corey's
I
reconsidering.
didn't think about, and that's a wide receiver. And Braylon
Corey-
Braylon is a big dude.
Joik literally jokingly, I went to go juke around him to do a spin, and he lightly checked me into the wall, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. Like, they're built differently, man. I'm just saying. Like,
I just remember that, like, damn. It's
Art,
like
when you look at me, what do you think? Do you think I'm just a
Little
small,
bitch.
frail
no,
boy?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that,
I'm a
like,
toddler.
I know
I'm
my
a grown-ass
stature.
man, Art. I
I'm
can take
five-
grown-ass hits from other grown-ass men.
I'm 5'8", 160 pounds, okay? I take a hit, I could possibly die. I have no health insurance.
Right, I'm
okay?
6'4", 200 pounds.
And
I can
get
take
that.
a hit.
But when was the last time you were sacked? We talk about your
Never.
Little League history. I get it. You were a pro. But
Little League football.
Oh, yeah, when I was 12, I was killing it. No. But listen, I'm a big guy, Art, so I can take a hit. And I've taken hits before. Obviously not by professionals because I never made it to that level. But I've taken hits by kids who went to D1. And, like, those are big hits. It hurts.
I feel
it
like you
definitely
just
hurts.
need to be humbled a little. And I'm not saying that
Yeah, now
disrespectfully.
Stick's talking a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, like
He is.
I'm not saying that disrespectfully. I know that, like, when it comes to UFC and like MMA, there's no way I could beat any of those dudes. That you have like this sense of like I'm invincible.
No,
And
I don't.
I'm just saying.
See, listen.
it would be a tough ride.
Listen,
UFC
in MMA,
hits.
I'm like your boy Logan Paul and Jake Paul.
Stop.
All I need is that one right. If I get connect with one right, it can hurt somebody, and that's all I say in a fight. Like, it's not about okay, 99 out of 100 times I'll get my ass whooped, but that one time I may catch him with this bad boy Tom O'Leary right here, and next thing you know, dude's on the ground
I'm
and I
2
look like a
seconds
hero.
away from slamming a table because you're frustrating me so much because I don't think you understand the difference between a professional athlete and a
do.
guy who talks about. We're all just guys who talks about sports. We have no college experience as far as playing for a college team or NFL or anything. You're delusional. You would get concussed. I
gotta
guarantee it.
stand up for Stick on this one.
You always do.
Listen,
Yeah, thanks,
I
Joey.
don't. I'm oftentimes against him, right? But this one,
Oftentimes against him.
I got facts to prove it. So Stick's saying 1 out of 100 he could do it, right? What if I tell you Stick is 1 out of 370,700 people that Britney Spears follows? So don't tell me there's no chance for 1 out of 100, all right?
Dreams do come true.
That's better odds right there.
I have a better chance of hitting Britney Spears, or I have a better chance of getting...
I'm just saying, numbers is numbers.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, Art, like, you always underestimate me. And I know you think that I'm cocky. I'm not. I understand the risk involved, and I understand that these guys are much better extreme athletes than I am. But that doesn't mean I don't have a chance.
I wish I had the self-confidence of you. I hope one day that I can have the drive and the self-confidence. But I will say in this situation, I'm sure Adam would agree. Of course, Adam probably in here start, oh, Stick's so great. But seriously, you're delusional.
Thanks.
You would take one hit and it would be done. You would be on the ground when knocked out. And
Probably, and I've had that happen before.
I'm just saying,
Like,
you
you're
wouldn't-
acting like I've never experienced this before.
I'm just saying you wouldn't handle it well. That's all that I'm saying.
I think he would. I mean, Chad's going to
my
cover the
God,
medical
it's
bills.
3 against 1.
I'm not. No, hold up. I do not. Listen, I'll say I'll take this hit, but I'm saying I'll take this hit because of the experience. I know I might die.
Well, listen, let's make this a bet. We can make this a prop bet on MyBookie. So go to mybookie.com, and you can bet once we set this up if I will get concussed or not.
Okay.
Here's another thing. We've got TJ Lang. Let TJ Lang hit you.
That's a little different.
It's different. He's a lineman.
It doesn't matter. He's a former
He
NFL
can still
player.
whoop his ass, but
I
it's
mean,
different.
I'm going to hit up Jason right now.
Hit him. Hit him up.
Okay. Yeah,
See-
so,
see-
I mean, TJ Lang's kind of different. Do I think maybe I could get around TJ Lang if he was blocking me? Man, I don't
No.
know.
Okay, here's a real challenge we could do with someone in here. Do you think that you could juke out Joik?
juke out
Yeah,
Joy.
like, do the.
But he's not a defender.
Yeah, you're
It
putting
doesn't
these
matter,
guys
it's
out of their
still
natural
football. I
position.
understand they're
No,
different
if you
positions.
could tackle Joik, that's the thing. If you could tackle, that's a reasonable question.
I think that Joik would make a mockery out of you if you
See,
tried to.
my buddy from Little League Football in the comments.
God, here we go again.
Stick is a headhunter. That's what we call our defense.
How many years ago? What's his name?
Jimmy O'Brien. Shout out to
Jimmy O'Brien. How many years ago was this, Jimmy?
We were undefeated. Thank you very
Oh
much.
my God.
So yeah, I could take the hit, Art. Whether you want to believe it or not,
Okay.
I could definitely take the hit. So thank you guys for being a part of this conversation and your belief in me. I appreciate that. But no, I told Joik I could tackle him in Oklahoma. I would try.
You are nuts. You are insane.
Dude, if you take out their ankles, they can't run. It's really simple.
Act like these people played Little League with you, bro.
No, I know they're great. But I want my shot to see how I stand up against greatness.
Do you think
what is wrong with that?
Okay, here's another one for you. Do you think that you could pull Darren McCarty's shirt over him and turtle him?
I did.
No, you don't win.
Dude, we were messing around out here, and I pulled his hoodie, and he goes, "That's why you don't wear hoodies." We were just
that's
joking
what he
around.
did to me when he pulled the hoodie over
No,
my
but
head.
I did it back to him when we were
Oh,
dicking
you did
around
that for
out
me?
there.
You did that for me?
I did that for you, man. See?
You could do anything, bro. I believe in you now.
I'm not saying I could whoop McCarty's ass, but I was able to get the hoodie over his head.
I just think you would be surprised. That's all. That's all that I'm saying. I think it would be a long day.
We need to just set up a day where we rent out like one of these gyms or whatnot, and then we just go through all of these challenges like a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We'll
Yeah.
go to Mayweather's gym.
Well, what happened the first time Art challenged me? How did that punching contest go for
I got
you?
second place and Adam's a bitch. That's all that I know.
How did I do?
You beat me by like 3 points.
You're bragging about being a little guy like that?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying.
87
I'm just
feet
saying he's
tall.
over there running his mouth. Last time he challenged me, what happened?
You won't beat me in axe throwing, though. That's a Northern
beat you
Michigan
in
tradition.
anything.
We will go axe throwing today. Don't test me.
All
Don't
right,
test me.
Fine.
All right,
Can we,
cool.
can we
We'll set it
throw
up.
both hands?
Let's not
You
get
guys cannot
That's
do
how
it.
you
guys
die.
can-
We're not doing no
Dude,
doubles.
you don't understand. My family are Vikings.
You don't understand. I have Northern Michigan Ted Nugent blood. I've drank the deer blood, okay? I know what's going on.
Oh man, I was about to say you guys cannot do axe throwing before me and Art do our air hockey because I remember I told you I owe you one.
Listen.
See, here's the deal. Here's what I'm learning, guys, right now.
ahead.
Art just talks shit to everybody here and gets beat at everything.
No,
here.
hey. I beat Joik, okay? I beat Joik in Call of Duty. Let's not get crazy.
Look up.
50% of the time.
No, he's 0-2.
And you're 0-2 in Battlefield or whatever, Warzone.
Listen, I'll axe throw with you guys today. I'll beat
All right.
Corey
All
in
right,
air
we'll do it
hockey,
today.
and I'll eat more Coney dogs than Joey. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Art versus everybody, apparently.
Fish, you can
Tommy
get it,
Walker,
too.
can we get those on some hoodies? Art versus everybody, because apparently Art...
Yo, let's do it.
But we gotta do a
Come
remake.
true.
Art gets beat by everybody.
Oh, man. Okay, well, we're going to set all that up, and hopefully I don't die. I'm assuming I won't die, but there's a chance.
Yep.
And I'm willing to take that risk for greatness.
I don't think you would die. I think you just might break a couple of bones. But hey,
Hey.
we're at Woodward Sports. Chad's gonna cover your bill.
You said it, man. I didn't say that. That's Corey saying that, Chad, not me. Let's take a quick break. We got a break for a couple, like 30 seconds, and we're gonna be coming back because if you thought I was dumb, we're gonna go over the dumbest plays in Super Bowl history next.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
So yesterday we went over kind of like the best Super Bowl commercials of all time, which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed taking a little trip down memory lane with the Budweiser Frogs and Britney Spears going through the generations and all that good stuff. Today, I kind of wanted to talk about the dumbest plays in Super Bowl history. And there's been a couple dumb ones. When I was researching this, there's some from like Super Bowl V. I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
Who remembers that to begin with? But we have, about 4 plays that I thought were pretty funny and memorable plays that I think we all could say were kind of Super Bowl blunders. And the first one that I thought, remember when Tom Brady went out to try to do the Philly play and you just saw Tom Brady's athleticism as a wide receiver. Like yesterday we were talking about how they try to turn quarterbacks into wide receivers. Well, they tried that one play with Tom Brady, and it did not work out well. Do you remember this play?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember that play. It's also why Brady was probably drafted as low as he was, because he is it's kind of wild. To be the greatest quarterback of all time, he is not an athletic specimen at all.
No.
He is the definition of slow at QB. You can throw so many different type of words at a ball.
He's the kind of guy that if Art saw, he would say, you would die if you took a hit.
Yeah.
And he didn't die. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So there you go.
And he
Art.
wears Uggs.
He wears Uggs. And he, what more can you say about Tom Brady? He's the
Swag.
most interesting man alive.
The only guy that could wear Uggs, and Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne, I've seen him with some Uggs on before.
Easy F, baby. So let's watch this play. This is the play to Tom Brady. They tried to run a little pass play to him, and you see that Tom Brady, not a wide receiver.
Third down and 5 here. And now you got it flipped back here to Danny Amendola, who throws, and it's Brady who can't pull it in.
Is just going to hand off and then ignore like he's not doing anything, and there he goes. And immediately Chris Long knew he was in trouble, and Brady with the bad hand and no tape. You wonder.
Yeah, so, I mean, great play design. He was open, but then he had to put his arms up and actually make an athletic play. So, to me, that was one of the worst calls. And then to get beat on that same play later in the game for the Philly call, that's just brutal.
That's just a slap in the face. If to have it played on you by Nick Foles.
Right.
It's just,
yeah,
damn Brady.
So that was one of the ones. Another one that got brought up when I was doing some research is, do you remember when Cam Newton didn't sell out for that fumble? Like there was a fumble literally like 3 feet in front of him, and you see him like kind of go to dive, then you just see a business decision happening in his head like, I don't really want to get involved with these big fellas. But it's the Super Bowl. Like
Soft as heck.
preseason, I get it. Even regular season, game 8, I get it. Super Bowl, you dive your ass in that pile and you get that ball.
You don't know. Even game 8, you can't. That's what you get paid to do.
Right.
If you're the reason a fumble happens, you got to be the one to make the recovery happen, because you got a lot of people putting a lot of money on you, and you're getting paid a lot of money to do what you're doing.
I don't agree with Cam doing that, but he made a business decision, and he had to pay for it in the postgame, because when he was talking about the loss, it was so jacked up. But right around the corner, they had the other team doing their postgame, and they're talking about, yeah, we stuffed Cam, we did this and that, and he had to hear all of it, so it was just pretty hilarious.
You got that play ready to go, the Cam Newton fumble over there? Let's watch this. Because like you said, man, this is straight up business decision. He didn't want to get hurt. He didn't want to get injured. Even though you're in the Super Bowl, that's what drives me nuts. And it kind of has been, I don't want to say a blemish on Cam, but it definitely, people still talk about it.
And also,
People don't forget.
And the thing is, Cam is, for quarterbacks, Cam is bigger than everybody.
Right.
So for him to not take that hit, that was just, that's a blemish.
Matthew Stafford would have taken that hit.
I think every quarterback that has ever played the game would have taken that hit in the Super Bowl.
I mean, prime example, John Elway's helicopter. remember, I know y'all remember that hit. He went and dove for it and just whoop.
Yep. No, but Cam, you could definitely see the business decision happening right there, and definitely not a great play in the Super Bowl. Another one is the first play. I forget what Super Bowl it was. It was when Peyton Manning was with the Broncos and Manny Ramirez just snaps the ball directly over his head against the Seahawks. Do you remember that play?
Damn, that wasn't like the first play?
Yeah,
the
very
first
first
play
play of the
it
game.
was.
Snapped the ball right over his head, and then that was it.
Oh, man, I love that Super Bowl because I do not like Peyton Manning. So all of my friends were like, Peyton's about to do this, Peyton's about to do that. I'm like, man, he's going to get his ass kicked in. At that Super Bowl party, I think I was the only one who was smiling, just like a kid on Christmas Day.
You know, all the homies before that were like to the center, hey, don't mess up, no bad snaps this game. First play.
Yeah, bad. So we got that video. You want to show this bad snap that happened in the Super Bowl? Very first, like you practiced 2 weeks for this, and that's what's crazy. This was not what the coach drew up. And what's funny about it is it's Peyton being Peyton. He's going to the line to adjust, and Manny Ramirez just must have heard something, and boom, ball right over his head.
48, Denver.
So that's definitely a dumb play in the Super Bowl.
You know, it's crazy with some of these plays. I think they're missing a lot because I have a few that I just jotted down personally that should have been on this list.
Okay.
One of them, if it doesn't matter whether you're talking about the worst play, the dumbest, the goofiest, whatever, you cannot have any of these lists without having Russell Wilson throwing that damn pick play on the goal line, and you got Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, right there to run it in, seal the Super Bowl. It's over.
Damn.
It doesn't matter what list it is. You have to start with that being the worst, dumbest, whatever call of all time in Super Bowl history. The Super Bowl is in the bag if you want to give it to Marshawn.
You know what really sucks about that specific play? That affected the Lions. Like, if we really want to think about it, because that was Matt Patricia's calling card that he's a genius, that, he made Malcolm Butler cut off that pass, and he even used that while he was here in Detroit. Like, I had one of the greatest calls in Super Bowl history. And it's like, okay,
now get us to the Super Bowl, damn it.
Right, without that call, would we have had Matt Patricia here?
Yeah, nah, probably not.
I mean, it put him on a higher radar, that's for sure.
Right.
That's the thing, too. It's like when you look at a big coaching decision as to bringing him as your head coach, there's more than just that play. It's more. It's crazy to me.
Sorry, I'm getting a text from Terry Foster right now. He's going to be on with us about 9 a.m. This morning. We'll get his opinion on this.
And there's also another one that should have been on that list, too, and from Super Bowl 38 with, again, Patriots and Panthers. Panthers tied the game up. I think it's a minute and 8 left. Panthers are kicking the ball off, and what does John Casey do? He kicks the ball out of bounds. Patriots get on the 40. Brady throws a couple of passes, sets it up for the Adam Vinatieri to kick the game-winning field goal. That's another dumb play. How do you
don't give up 20 yards.
Right.
How do you kick the ball out of bounds in that moment? I understand it happens, but it's not like it's commonplace that on the kickoff they kick it out of bounds. That's also another dumb move.
Right. And then, to me, the dumbest play of all time, and it cost so many people so much money, Leon Lett and Don Beebe. Like, if you don't remember this, I remember being a kid when this happened, and my dad had squares, and this screwed up his entire squares. But if you don't remember, Leon Lett gets the ball, he's running down the field, big lineman, and Don Beebe hauls ass about 80 yards, smacks the ball out of his hand right before the goal line. Let's watch this. Gotta be one of the biggest blunders in history. Gotta be.
I don't know. That's why you just don't do stupid stuff like that. How you just lollygagging and everything. No, you can't do that.
Right. I love how this is so old, like the footage is all grainy and stuff. But I mean, Leon Lett, like, he's got Rocky playing in his head, Eye of the Tiger while he's running. Like, this is what you dream of. Lineman scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and little ass Don Beebe slapping that out of you. So to me, that is one of the dumbest plays in Super Bowl history right there. So I just wanted to go over some of those. I'm glad you brought up that call, Corey. Like, I forgot about I can't believe I forgot about not using Marshawn Lynch 1 yard away.
It's the worst move. It's the worst call ever.
Right.
I can just say it over. Who else in that moment would you rather the ball be in, hands be in that moment?
No, beast mode. It's beast mode. It's one of the biggest blunders in Super Bowl history, and it fucked us because Matt Patricia became our coach because of it.
That's the bigger mess up in this whole thing.
The trickle-down effect is awful because of that play.
Yep.
And it was crazy. Even though Pete Carroll won a Super Bowl, he's always going to be that call right there. I think sometimes that overshadows that he actually coached the Seahawks to a Super Bowl, because I'm not saying it's just a stain. It's right there. It's the first thing you think about now.
And you know what else? Bevel called that. So there's a lot of Lions.
Bevel.
There's a lot of Lions ties into that stupid play. Oh, man. So those are some of the dumbest plays in Super Bowl history. We wanted to touch on those. Terry Foster has just entered the studio. Let us take a quick break. We're going to get Terry set up here, and we're gonna talk to Terry Foster live and in person. I love this.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Spinning him down, putting the ball in the 1. Second and goal, and short foul goes in for the touchdown.
And welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. We still got a lot to talk about in this show. The Let Them Play. We got some updates on that coming up. It's been pretty much the biggest sports story in Michigan over the past month or so. And the U of M recruiting class came through, and we finally got the rating on that this year. But this is kind of our initial Thursdays with Terry kickoff. Welcome to the show, Terry Foster.
Good to be here. It's good to be out of the house. I haven't been out of the house in like 6 days. So,
And last time we talked, you said that you've just been spending a lot of time on Twitter trolling people, and you do a great job of it, man.
basically, it's like a new hobby of mine. I didn't know there was a network for that, but I've discovered it and I'm enjoying it.
It is entertaining when you can get people rolling, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting the don't take the vaccination and don't wear a mask people.
Okay.
So I'm fighting them, and so that's a lot of fun. And there was one guy I was trolling last night. He said the masks don't work, the vaccines don't work, you're wasting your time. So I kept going through his argument, and then after an hour, he said, well, you probably should wear a mask and get the vaccination. I said, well, wait a minute. I thought we said, and I said, no, you should probably do it. I'm like, all right, I think I won that one.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Well, it's great to have you in studio, man. And, when you announced on Twitter that you were going to start coming in here on Thursdays, people blew up and stared blowing up my phone, blowing up Joey's phone. Corey got a lot of hits.
See, I thought you were going to tweet me back and say, don't show up.
Well, I was just like, oh, shit. We just kind of talked about it through text, and Terry just put it out there like, that's it. I'm making the move.
That's what I do. I just like, this is what I want to do. Fuck everybody else. That's just the way it's going to be.
Well, I couldn't be happier, man. Like, we've talked just kind of personally back and forth, and you've been, your stories that you tell, I can relate a lot to with our similar experiences with our previous careers and stuff like that. But just overall, I've always enjoyed listening to you. I've always enjoyed your take, and you've always just been fun and bring the energy to Detroit.
Well, I think we should have fun. This is sports, right?
Yes.
It's we're playing. They're playing a kids game, but people take this stuff way too seriously. I remember when I first started doing this, I used to get death threats because of things I said, and it wasn't quite what you believed in. So I don't think that's a reason to shoot somebody.
No.
You can argue with them or cuss them out or something. I'm okay with that, but shooting them, that's a little extreme.
Yeah, I'd say so. Just over an opinion, and that's what we're supposed to do here. We're supposed to have counteracting opinions so we can figure out the actual truth. Because somewhere in the middle, that's where the truth usually lies. But since we have you in here, obviously we got to talk sports with you, man. And so much has happened over the past even week in Detroit sports. To you, I mean, I got some questions here, but to you, what is the biggest thing that stood out to you this past week that you want to touch on?
I think the obvious one was the Matthew Stafford trade. I mean, the rest of the sports teams are bad. I tried to come up with a Mount Rushmore of current Detroit athletes, and that is tough.
Yeah.
I put in 2 guys who are broken down, Miggy Cabrera and Blake Griffin. But they're not. I mean, Blake Griffin is averaging 12.5 points this year.
And 0 dunks on the whole season.
0 dunks.
0 dunks.
Miggy batted .250 last year. Hasn't done anything since 16.
Ugh.
But I just put them on there because of longevity, and they're going to be in the Hall of Fame probably. So, I mean, but if you talk about who are the best athletes now, I put Amani Bates on there.
Okay.
I mean, he's a high school kid. I've never even thought about putting a high school kid on that list.
Yeah, we had this conversation earlier in the week, like who's the guy now that Stafford's gone, and we kind of ran into the same thing. Like we were talking, if we're in LA, we're talking LeBron, we're talking AD, we're talking Kershaw, we're talking, all these players. Here, we're trying to find one, let alone 4 to compare him against. And one of the names that we came up with that was kind of off the cuff, similar to Amani Bates, is why can't I think of his name right off the top of it? No, the Juwan Howard. Oh, sorry, I spaced on that.
Right.
Like to me, he's the biggest force in the state right now.
Yeah, yeah, probably because of what Michigan has done and everything, and but he's not playing.
Right.
He is coaching, and he's built that program, which was pretty good before he got there.
Yeah,
he's
Beeline
changed things around there. And one of the guys I talked to a little bit is Jimmy King, and he said that there's a defensive concepts that Juwan Howard introduced to the team. They didn't work the first year. That's now working this year.
Okay.
And it's like ball tracing and some other stuff, and he brought up some
I'm happy that
stuff.
worked out for Michigan because so many people were doubting that Juwan Howard was actually going to be a good coach.
Yeah, absolutely. But see, I thought he was going to be good. Here's my philosophy. Juwan Howard has been put in a bubble for the last 10 years. Even when he was a player, he was learning under Pat Riley, and they were feeding him information, telling him how the game worked and how you think differently as a coach than you do as a player. And Juwan Howard was soaking that up. Here's the thing we don't know about Juwan Howard. People don't know. Because he was the Fab Five. You think of Fabulous and all the – Juwan Howard is a nerd. He is a book nerd. That's at his base, that's what he is. So he's soaking up all this information, even the last 4 or 5 years of him being a player. So once Michigan said they're going to talk to him, I thought, you know what, this is going to work out because I know what kind of person he is. He's not this flamboyant, got to go to the club guy. He's a nerd.
That's awesome.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and those guys tend to be the best coaches, because that's what they do. They live and die in that film room. Right. That's what they do. So who are you putting on your Mount Rushmore besides Miggy and besides Blake Griffin?
Monty Bates.
Okay, so Bates is on there, and one more.
I put Dylan Larkin on there.
Yeah, Larkin was kind of the main star that we could come up with right now, and obviously he just got named captain this year, Waterford boy, so you got to put him on that Mount Rushmore.
And that C, that Red Wing C, is like
carries a lot of
huge. Weight. Right.
Yeah, to me, I love that hockey. Like sometimes they just go without a captain because nobody earned it. Right. Like in football, it's just there's a guy with a C. Okay, somebody's got to have the C. In hockey, it's like no, we don't even have a captain. Y'all suck.
Right, he's the captain now. Now people want to trade him.
Jesus.
So, question: do you think it would be easier to make a Mount Rushmore of the worst players in Detroit sports right now?
Yes, you have to sit down and think about it, but you could come up with a whole bunch of them.
Oh, God. Do we really want to do this?
But, fellas, if you do a Mount Rushmore of the worst players, they got to be starters. Can't be I'm the 12th guy on the Pistons or I get 1 or 2 shifts on the Wings or, I'm the backup line. It's got to be a starter.
Oh, man. I don't want my brain to start thinking that way.
I know.
Who you got, Corey? Who you got?
If we go on the worst, leading my Mount Rushmore would be Mason Plumlee.
Really?
He's a good rebounder, but I'm just saying, watch some of the games I've watched. His turnovers are just ugly, so ill. I mean, a turnover is ill-timed as it is. He just makes them at all the wrong times.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I like him. I sort of like him for this reason. He plays big. Yes, he does turn the ball over, but he's big. He gets rebounds. He makes some smart plays, and I hate to do the stereotypical thing of the white guy, but, he does the smart thing sometimes, gets in position, and he even makes Blake Griffin look good sometimes. Yeah. But he turns it over a little bit.
He almost had a triple-double the first game of the season. I'm still hanging on to that. That's what I got for Mason Plumlee.
Do you know what a trillion is?
No.
Scott Hastings used to do trillions.
What's the trillions?
You play 1 minute, no field goal attempts, no field goals, no free throws, no rebounds, no points. It's a trillion.
You're the ghost. You're an actual ghost
Right.
out there. So, I mean, obviously the big news of the week, we touched on it earlier, with Stafford being gone. How do you feel about that trade? Who do you think won that trade?
All right, I've heard you guys talk about this,
Yeah.
and now you're going to
he's
get
getting
mad
fired
at
up.
it the
He's
first
getting
time.
fired up.
You are all worm boys and sissies in here. Sorry. Of course
Here
the
we go.
Lions won the trade.
Okay.
But here's why. Because at some point, when you become a real NFL franchise, you just need that one piece. And whether you give up too many draft picks, too much talent, whether you get that one piece. You do anything you can to get that one piece. That's what the Rams did. They feel they've got that with Matthew Stafford. So, yeah, the Lions took advantage of them, but they're supposed to. When you're a bad team, you're supposed to take advantage of better teams. If you don't, there's something wrong with you.
But do you really think that, like, I mean, L.A., if they don't win a Super Bowl, they just wasted 3 years of picks.
Absolutely. But if they can go to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, they can go with Matthew Stafford. Goff has got some flaws in his game. He's decent, but he's not great.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to change the world here, but I'm willing to give the guy a chance. I mean, to me, he was just kind of a cherry on top. Like, I'll take the picks all day, and then we got a quarterback that can play. Okay, I'll take it. But yeah, I don't think I'm soft for thinking that way, Terry. Damn.
Well, you are.
Why am I soft, Terry? Tell me why I'm soft.
You have an annoying habit that I'm going to correct you.
Get me, baby.
All right. When you talk about the Lions, do you know what you say?
What do I say?
We.
Did
you ever play for them?
No.
Are you part ownership?
No.
Did you work for them?
No.
So it's not we, it's they.
See, but I've grown up as a fan. This whole, like, I'm a fan of the Lions. The reason I express my fanship to people is I tell them like this. I'm a Lions fan the way, like, you're a fan of your kid's Little League football team. They may be the worst fucking football team you've ever seen in your life, but they're yours, right? You're showing up every Saturday to root for your kid, even though you know he sucks.
There's a big caveat. Your kids sometimes love you. They will hug you. Lions don't give a shit about you.
No, they don't.
They want your money, and that's it.
Yeah.
The kids, they want your money. Yeah, that's true, but they want your love, and they want to cuddle and stuff. So I can understand when you say we with your kids because you're invested in them. You have sperm invested in the...
I have sperm in some Lions.
Well, that's a different kind. And let's not see the video of that.
This got weird, bro.
Sperm and kneecaps, baby. That's the Lions way.
Where's your hands? All right.
Terry, right
Keep
here.
them above the table, please.
So I will stop saying we. You are correct.
Okay,
I'm not a part of the organization,
Here,
but I am a fan.
I'm a man of compromise. If the fellas here disagree with me, I'll back off.
No, man, listen, you're the legend. I'm trying to take notes from you and follow in your footsteps. So if you're telling me I'm fucking up by saying we, I'm going to stop saying we. You guys agree with that, everybody?
What do you think?
Nope. You're still going to say we, Joey? Come up here, Joey, real quick.
Okay.
So Joey, he's on the show. We didn't have 4 mics ready to go.
You don't
this
walk
morning.
in our studio calling us soft, all right, Terry? I don't know who you talking to my boys like that.
That's what I do.
No, I get it. I see where you're coming from on that train of thought, but to Stick's point, when you really bleed just the Detroit Lions, and I mean what we've been through, we could say we, because when you spend as much time watching the Lions as we all do in this room, we could at least have a little bit of some ownership in this thing.
Okay, what have they given you? First of all, how old are you?
27.
You're 27.
Yes.
You are?
I'm 39.
39, Corey?
35.
Okay.
34.
Nobody believes Corey's 35,
Yeah,
by
he's
the way.
22. Lying about his age.
34.
We thought he was 24 when we hired him. Then he hands us his ID, and we're like, holy shit, Corey's old.
34, 35 in July.
He's like a woman, man.
Right.
He's lying about that. All right.
You don't crack.
Fellas, I'm not picking, but what have they given you in 35 and 27 and 29 years of your life?
Nothing. Why are you doing this?
Bad
to me, Terry?
memories.
What are they giving you?
Bad memories.
A 5-0 start one time. We made it to the playoffs 3 times. Yeah, I got the one victory in 1991. That's all I got.
Now, were you alive in 91?
Yeah, I'm 39.
Okay, my math is bad.
Yeah, I was born in 81, so I was 10 when they won their last playoff game.
I was at that game.
Oh, man. I would kill to be at a Lions playoff game when they actually win. What was that like, Terry? Will you tell us?
It was here. Come on, sit on my knee. Let me tell
Uncle
you.
Terry, will you tell us?
It was actually very electric.
Oh, I can't imagine.
The Silver Dome was way more live than Ford Field, but they had to calm it down a little bit because the Silver Dome, they used to fight every game. In fact, we're supposed to be professionals in the press box. We were watching fights and watching the great thing was watching drunks fight each other, punching and falling. I don't know how you fall down the stairs in slow motion, but that's what they used to do at the Silverdome. But that game was electric. It was warm in the Silverdome. It was cold outside, but for some reason it was warm in the Silverdome. People were really jacked up. They had never seen the Lions in the playoffs before, and they just kicked Dallas's ass. Now, but do you know what the significance of that game was supposed to be?
What's that?
The winner of that game was next.
Right.
The winner of that game was going to be the NFL team.
Till Washington. Till we ran into Washington.
Oh, man. I was at that game, too.
You were at that game, too?
Let me tell you, that game is – I'm not going to call it the most miserable game I've been to, but I was in that stupid stadium, and they play that dumbass song. We are the Redskins, da-da-da-da-da.
We are the football team.
Well, yes, the football team now.
Football team.
But
we play football.
And we're good, sort of. No, but the stadium shook. I thought I was in an earthquake. That thing was just rock. I mean, it was literally moving. And I said, will you please stop playing this dumbass song? And then somebody said, well, tell the Redskins to stop scoring.
Yeah, it's like that stupid Vikings horn. Like, to me, that's the most annoying sound in NFL football. Every first down. It's like, oh, Jesus. It's like Roy Williams is up there pressing the button because they got a fucking first down.
You know what else I hate? I'm sure one of you probably went to Penn State. I hate the Penn State Nittany Lion.
And the Jaguar in Jacksonville.
I'd like to kick his ass.
We're actually having Herman Moore on tomorrow, so I want to talk to him about that playoff win too.
Okay.
I think it's going to be interesting to hear a player's perspective on it because, like you said, I've never experienced that. I've never been able to do that. The loudest I ever heard Ford Field, and actually Sean Baligian from the Baligian and Bell Show was talking about this, is when Javid Best broke that 88-yard run against the Bears when they scored like 35 points in the fourth quarter. That's the loudest I ever heard Ford Field. And then if we go back to like my Silverdome memories, there was one year the Lions won like one game at home, and it was the last game of the season, and it was like we won the Super Bowl in that bitch. Johnny Morton was doing the worm in the end zone, across the end zone. And
some dudes jumped in the fountain because it was sort of a warm day, so they jumped in the fountain downtown in I think it was Grant Park or something like that.
Man.
That's why we're so pathetic here. For a game like that means nothing, you do that. Images of the Lions, Matt Millen and Ford Jr. hugging each other so they don't go 0-16 for the first time.
Right.
This is when you think about Lions football and the fans, I can only think of one word. It's pathetic.
You know what?
Thanks, man.
That actually kind of want to go to a question I had for you along the lines of pathetic. Bill Cowher, said yesterday during the NFL Media Day that he never viewed the Lions as a tough team and that he believes that Dan Campbell can instill some of that toughness. What do you think about that over your years of have you ever thought of the Lions as being a soft team?
Yes, they're absolutely, and here's why. Because when you can bring in a guy that's a hard ass, they don't want to bring him in. The only hard ass they really brought in was Ndamukong Suh. And then I was pissed at him because he would just do stuff. He stomped on the Green Bay Packers arm. But he was an asshole on and off the field. But I think in the Penguin, in the NFL, you need probably 9 or 10 assholes on your team. The Lions didn't want him. Now, here's another guy who was an asshole. You could have brought in Randy Moss.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the Lions didn't want to admit, the character issues, him smoking weed. I'm sorry. if you're in the NFL, if you play football, you smoke weed. You're supposed to. But they, they
prerequisite.
You're right. He smoked weed, and he fought now and then. But then they bring in Terry Fair, who, by the way, did smoke weed. They tried to say he fell in his driveway and broke his hand. It's not what I heard. I heard he was at see, I'm not a nightclub guy, but he was at a nightclub downtown, punched the wall because he wanted to hit his woman, and messed up his hand.
Yeah, my experience hosting nightclubs in Detroit, which I've done for like 20 years, I've partied with a lot of NFL players, and Martellus Bennett actually, he went off on Twitter. Maz sent this to us the other day, yesterday actually, talking about how like your favorite NFL players probably aren't good people. And I wasn't shocked by that because the majority of people aren't good people. But to be an NFL like good player, you gotta have that dog in you. You gotta like be a little bit insane to run into, get yourself hit and smash into people you gotta be an angry individual to be like that.
You know who has a reputation of being soft? University of Michigan. I love your shirt though. No, but I have been in opposing locker rooms. And guys have called them pussies, even though they just got their asses kicked 35-0 to Michigan. But this was back in the day before, when they were good.
When they were good,
they would still say, "Man, these dudes are pussies."
Yep.
And you know who had the dog in Michigan State during that time under D'Antonio? They were mean. They were ferocious. They were like 2 and 3 stars, pissed off because they were 2 and 3 stars, and they come in with this hard edge and everything.
Yeah, and that's what you need. I mean, you need some assholes on your team. Like, nice guys don't finish first in the NFL. It just doesn't happen.
They definitely finished last.
Even Tom Brady's a complete asshole. Like, you see him berating teammates on the sideline all the time. And it's funny, I saw a quote that somebody was crying after they made it to the Super Bowl 2 weeks ago. And Tom Brady looked at him and goes, "What are you crying for? We haven't won shit."
That's right.
And that's what you want out of your asshole.
I'm not going to say, but an NFL player who's a defensive player told me that Tom Brady uses racial epithets on the field. And, like, nobody says anything because it's Tom Brady.
You know what? To that point, there is a video of when he greeted Ed Reed in the tunnel and he said, "What's up?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but Ed Reed was cool with it, right? I mean, Ed Reed's a big enough man where if he had a problem with it, he would have addressed it right in the situation.
Deep down, he wasn't.
Okay.
So Ed Reed probably just was not going to make a scene at that moment. That's all it was.
See, all that tells me is that people have been letting Tom Brady get away with it. Because he just, if you let someone do it, then they're going to be, "Oh, it's cool. I can do this." Like, someone needs to check him if it's an issue. And I would imagine Ed Reed would have enough sack to be like, "Tom, what are you doing?"
He was probably okay with it.
Yeah. Different strokes, I guess.
Stuff happens.
So we talked about that. Let's get into the Super Bowl talk. Earlier we were just touching on Tom Brady a little bit, but earlier we were talking, is it important for Mahomes to win this Super Bowl to ever have a chance at catching Tom Brady as GOAT?
Yes, because you need. I'm going to go back to the philosophy of Isaiah Thomas, who I used to talk to a lot. He said at some point you've got to kill the king. You can't come in 3 years later and beat him. If he's there, chances are he's a little bit old. You can't beat him. You have to destroy him. So I'm going to say yes. This is his time to say, "Tom Brady, you're done. I'm the king. I'm taking over. I'm catching your ass." So yeah, he does need this.
But what if the Chiefs win and let's say the Chiefs beat the Buccaneers, but Mahomes plays a mediocre game? Does that affect it? Okay, that's what I was saying.
It goes on his resume. He's a winner, and if he piles up a bunch of Super Bowls, we won't be thinking about that. So in the time being, he's got to destroy Tom Brady.
Do you think that's going to happen?
Yes, I think they're going to kick Tampa's ass.
I mean, they did in Week 12.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that scares me is not Tom Brady. It's Tampa's defense.
Yeah,
they can turn on your ass.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting if Sue does get a hold of Mahomes to see how much of a ragdoll he turns that kid into. I mean, we've seen him throw around much bigger quarterbacks, and Mahomes is not a very big guy.
No. But supposedly Ndamukong Suh is a different guy now.
Okay.
So he's more philosophical. He doesn't feel he has to destroy people as much. So
I find
we'll
that
see.
hard to believe, man.
I do too.
Like once the pupils get dilated and you got that guy right in your sights, he's going to go full psycho
Yeah,
again.
and this is like his second time in the Super Bowl. I don't think he's gonna leave anything. He's gonna leave nothing on the table this time. He's going out there all full tilt.
Yeah. So you think the Chiefs are going to totally dominate the Super Bowl?
After the first quarter, I think the Chiefs have a tendency to come out a little sluggish and fart around because they know what they can do to you.
Right.
So I think in the first quarter, yeah, they'll be close and they'll look bad and everything. But I think at some point they're going to grab the Bucs by the neck and strangle them out.
Do you think at any point in the game the Chiefs can be down to the Bucs?
First quarter. Wouldn't surprise me.
Outside of that, like let's say we're talking about the fourth quarter, games on the line.
No. They'll be up 2 scores.
Well, Madden actually they did their simulation of the Super Bowl, and they have the Chiefs winning 37-27, and to take the lead in the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes had a 12-yard run. So that's what Madden's predicting is going to happen.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen.
Madden says it.
I just love how wrong you are when you walk in this studio, Terry. Because
Are you pissed that I called you a worm boy and a sissy?
I'm cool. Call
Are
me
you over
soft
that?
all day. I am soft though, so it's okay. But when you bet against Tom Brady, I just want you to know, Terry. I'm gonna call you Monday morning. Actually, I'm gonna call you Sunday night. We're gonna have a good conversation.
Yeah, call Sunday night. I don't care. I'll be up.
About how wrong you are, because Tom Brady is gonna win this Super Bowl, his 7th, and walking out like a champ.
Okay.
Yeah, Joey thinks Tom Brady's going to retire after this.
Yeah, I know that. He's not retiring, bro.
Hit it, quit it. You know
never
about
gonna
that,
happen.
T. Hit it, quit it.
Here's the deal.
Hit it and quit it.
I will be man enough to listen to his bullshit on a Sunday night. He'll berate me, make fun of me, and then he'll hang up. He'll say, "Oh no, nothing personal, T. You know, I still love you." You know that bullshit. Okay, I'm willing to do that. But when Tom Brady gets his ass kicked, guys like this disappear.
Man, that's when the phone, is blocked.
My phone
battery,
charge.
the battery, man, it died.
He won't even do the show next week.
Next Thursday, I'm taking a vacation because Terry's in now every single Thursday, guys.
There we go.
It snowed today. Couldn't make it.
I'm gonna make my pick tomorrow. Corey, you're gonna save your pick for tomorrow. Joey, obviously thinking the Bucs are gonna win. You got the Chiefs. Who do you think is gonna be the MVP of this game?
Is there any other? Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes? Okay.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Yeah, him, Tyreek Hill, and Kelsey are the 3 that I would take. Obviously, from
I love Kelsey. Kelsey could sneak away with it, but usually they give it to the quarterback. But Kelsey, man, is a monster.
Yes,
that's who Yeah, that's kind of like giving away my pick. But if the Chiefs were to win, I would have to go with Travis Kelsey. I think that with the Buccaneers defense, I don't see Mahomes just in this game getting off any long passes, but I see him doing some damage in the red zone, and Kelsey will go ahead and benefit off of that.
But brother, you're okay. You said if,
and he didn't say we.
No, that's right.
Which is good. So you kind of brought up this question too. What's going to happen first in your eyes? A Lions playoff win or a Matt Stafford Super Bowl win?
Matt Stafford Super Bowl win.
Ooh. How long in that window you think?
I am 61 years old, and I've already come to grips with I will never see a Lions playoff victory.
Oh man,
I'm convinced of that. I said it first when I was 33, 34.
Jeez, that's
no. I don't want this life, Terry. I was born here. I didn't choose this.
Even with the overhaul that they've done, you don't see them winning any playoff games in the near future.
I like what they've done. I'm more confident in them now because at least now they are a real football team. Before they were a fake NFL franchise. So I could be wrong on that, but I could see them winning a playoff game finally. Probably, not in the next 3 years, but maybe 5 years from now, winning one.
So the Rams, from what I read, they're not going to go. They're not going to give Stafford an extension yet past the 2 years. Do you see him, if they don't get the Super Bowl in that 2 year window? Do you see Stafford remaining with the Rams?
I think he might have to retire because the expectations there are a lot different there. It's Super Bowl or bust.
Right.
They can't make the NFC Championship game and lose a heartbreaker. They got to go to the Super Bowl and win it. I understand it. That is a franchise with expectations. Guess what? They may never reach it, but they're thinking that way. Now, your team, we, as you like to call them, every press conference, here's the one word you never hear: championship. They said, we want to win some games. We want to be competitive. We want to be up there. But they never say, we want to win a championship.
Right.
No, listen to your press conference. You know, I'm just telling you, man. It's not. Maybe now they're a real franchise, but I grew up on this stuff. I saw Tom Dempsey kick the 63-yard field goal against these clowns.
I was talking to these guys yesterday. This is kind of like the most buzz and the most excited I've been about our future in a long time for the Lions. Are you feeling that way, or are you thinking it's just like, all right, it's just new pony, same tricks?
No, I feel more optimistic, but not because of the reasons you do. You got caught up in the kneecaps and rah-rah and everything.
I did, yes.
But let me tell you, Coach said something that resonated with me because of conversations I've had in the NFL. He said we've got to put our best against their weaknesses. We've got to exploit that.
Yes, I love that comment.
People didn't pick up on that. But the reason I picked up on that, or the reason it really kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, is throughout my career, I've asked people in the NFL, what do the Lions have to do to become a championship? You know, after they stop laughing, I said, here's what you need to do. First of all, you need to draft to beat Aaron Rodgers. You need to draft to beat the Chicago Bears defense. You need to draft to take advantage of other teams' strong points, but on the field, you need to exploit their weaknesses. I have never heard anybody wearing Honolulu blue and silver say that.
So why do you think that is? Like, why all of the other times did the Lions just not do something that sounds so simple, but they're doing it now?
Maybe they've got the right ownership. And I always hear this, Terry, you don't know what you're talking about. Ownership doesn't mean shit when you win on the football field. I said, yes, it does.
Oh, yes.
Because you pick the right people or the wrong people. You give them the right or wrong directions. And I think for the first time, the Lions did their work as far as searching. Now, you know, since I got a brother up here, not that I'm, you know, but
no, we talk about this all the time. I am not a brother. Just want to let everybody know.
What pisses us off more than the Good Old Boys Network? The Lions have been the poster children for the Good Old Boys Network. Look back when the Fords took over. Who did William Clay Ford pick as his general manager? His drinking buddy. So they, you know, that's the first general manager. Then who was the second general manager? He was the friend of the drinking buddy. Okay? Now, you go through Chuck Schmidt. Then Matt Millen comes in. Why was Matt Millen Why was Matt Millen hired? Because he was a good guy.
He's a football guy.
We like Matt. He's a football guy. People in the league like him.
Right.
So there's three people right there. It's like, okay, good. Now, who replaced Matt Millen?
Martin Mayhew.
Martin Mayhew. A guy, and no one knows this story, so I'm going to tell this. We went to a press conference at Ford Field, and I just knew it was a bunch of Lions bullshit. And Matt Millen, I'll give him credit. You could rip Matt Millen up and down, but he would still talk to you, and he was cordial. And one time, we left the press conference. He said, Foster, I want to tell you something. I said, what? He says, Martin Mayhew, he's a stud. And so then I'm immediately thinking, okay, this guy sucks. What happens? They put him in charge. So it's the trickle down effect. I'm hooking up my boys, people I like.
Buddy ball never works, man. It never works, ever.
Only with Buddy Ryan.
Right. Well, there you go. I like that. And we got one of Buddy Ryan's descendants now on our coaching staff.
Yes.
Which is great. His grandson. So I like that. But I want to take it back to the point you said about during the press conference, how they said they're going to start coaching against other teams' strengths and weaknesses. Because I did take that out of the press conference, too, and I was very excited because one of my favorite quotes in all of sports is about Bear Bryant, the great college coaches. Bear Bryant could beat you with his team, then take your team and beat his team with your team. And that's what good coaches do, and that's why I think Belichick has been such a great coach for so long is he coaches around his players and fits them to fight the best way possible, puts them in the best position to win. And we've been trying to fit square pegs in round holes for so long.
Right. But what couldn't Bear Bryant beat?
I don't know. You tell me.
Brothers. He couldn't beat brothers. Seriously.
He didn't have any brothers, though. He didn't have any on his team.
He didn't have any. He said, I got to get me one of them.
I got to get me several of them. Yeah, he picked up on that trend. So, yeah, I mean, it's great having you in here on Thursdays. We're going to start bringing you in 9 a.m. every Thursday. Does that work out for you, man? Does this work out in your schedule?
Now, when Dr. Fauci's at home, I got to do it from home.
Yeah, and when you say Dr. Fauci, you mean wifey,
My
right?
wife.
Yeah.
She is Miss COVID. She's already had 2 shots. She doesn't let me out the house. She wants to wear 2 masks.
2?
2.
Okay.
And what else? She's, if she was here now, she'd rip up the studio, kick all your asses.
Well, I appreciate her letting you out of the house for this morning. I appreciate
She don't know.
Oh, shit, yeah. That's a man right there. That's a man. You don't tell that woman. What you got, Art?
I just had one quick question for you, Terry. And you and Baligian kind of have the same thought process in the sense of you're not going to be optimistic until something happens with the new regime, basically. What would it take to prove to you that we do have a new set of Lions, that we do have a new coaching system? What record? And also, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Because it seems like,
Say we again?
Yeah, see, I'm doing it. I made
You
a mistake.
heard him, Art.
But what would it take? What record would you like to see this year that would leave you confident?
It's not the record. Win a playoff game. See, I think my standards are even low because I haven't seen. I just saw it once. Win a playoff game, and you can show me something. You can finish 8-8, 7-9. I don't care. Win a playoff game. So that's what I want to see.
We're so bad. We're so bad that's like, hey, just win a playoff game.
Hey,
and we just got
fellas, it's fun.
Right.
It's fun.
I don't know. It would be fun. And we just got a quarterback that has been to a Super Bowl, won a playoff game this year, and nobody seems to be like over the top excited about it.
Because
our standards are different.
Because now he's a Detroit Lion.
So we know.
Yeah, you can go to a Super Bowl. Go with this damn team.
So how long do you think it's going to take before he gets lionized?
Oh, man, you had to bring that up. I'm hating you for that.
Uh-oh.
But everybody, that's the other thing. Everybody becomes lionized. He may not because he only got a 2-year contract. They get rid of his ass.
Yeah.
But that's a tough one. His second year, he'll become lionized. He'll do something stupid that piss us all off, and we'll get rid of this guy. And he'll like, what did I do? Come on,
All it's going to take is game 1, and if they start game 1 off like they have the past 3 years, losing to rookie quarterbacks and blowing big leads, it'll be like, all right, I'm done with Goff. Everybody will throw their hands up after game 1.
But maybe it's game 1 is against the Kansas City Chiefs or something, or the Green Bay Packers, and so you're supposed to lose those games.
That would be nice to start off with a game we're supposed to lose instead of losing to Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, and all these rookies that just whoop our ass.
Do you think there's just any chance that Goff proves all of his Detroit doubters wrong?
Sure, there's a chance. He has some talent. And I think in L.A., when you read between the lines, it was a bad fit. He didn't do things they wanted him to do. And maybe in a different environment, there's less pressure on him here in Detroit than it is in L.A. And so, yeah, there's always that chance because we don't have expectations here. And so he can come in here and say, okay, I'm the man. What he's got to guard against is becoming too cocky and too casual. It's still a business. We still want to see this team win, even though, you're not demanding they win championships. But there'll be a little bit of pressure, but not like in L.A.
Because here's the reason why I think he could be successful. Granted, Matthew Stafford is a more talented quarterback, but Goff has been around winning. And when he walks into a locker room, I'm thinking he'll be able to sell what it takes to winning to his teammates as opposed to what Matthew Stafford could do.
He can do that. He has something on his resume he can tell these guys. Now, the key is they brought in a coach who went to a Super Bowl, and they rebelled against him. I'm talking about Bobby Ross, who kind of lost his mind by going womp, 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 and talking about Lake Orchard and stuff like that.
I was excited about that Bobby Ross hire, too, when they did it, but obviously,
it's a bad culture here.
Yeah.
And that man buckled. Is Jared Goff going to be strong enough not to buckle? It's tough. He can do it because he's done it before. Now he's with the Lions, who may be an NFL franchise finally. So we'll see.
Well, Terry, thank you for coming in on this Thursday, and we're going to do Thursdays with Terry pretty much every week. You good with that?
I'm good.
Awesome. I love this, man.
All right.
I appreciate your
Had fun?
insight. Yeah. And we'll just keep it rolling from here and see where this thing evolves into, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we'll see
until you start kicking me out for yelling at you for saying we.
You can call me. You can call me whatever you want. You can call me soft. You can make fun of everything, man. We love you around here, and we're just happy that your voice is getting back out there. I mean, people in the comment section calling you the GOAT. Just happy that you're back on, saying that they love the
network. It just means I'm old. That's all.
That's all right. Tom Brady's old too.
That is true.
He's the fucking man. So. Thank you to Terry Foster for stopping by. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and Let Them Play has been kind of the biggest sports news story in Michigan over the past couple weeks besides Stafford getting traded, and we're going to talk a lot about that. There's been some big updates, hopefully some good news coming up next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fan at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Man, it was great having Terry Foster on this morning, and every Thursday we're gonna do Thursdays with Terry. Sounds like an old Hallmark movie. Thursdays with Terry on the Woodward Sports. I love it. Great insight there. Obviously, a wealth of Detroit sports knowledge, and just somebody I think we've all looked up to in our careers.
The GOAT. Some call him the BBSOAT, the biggest bullshitter of all time.
You have to yell that as he leaves the studio, Joey.
Oh,
didn't hear me, right?
I had his Friday moment. When he
hear me,
I'll
right?
be quiet. But when he leave, I'll be talking again.
Yep. So let's get into this. It's obviously something that's been very close to our hearts. It's something that Joey has spearheaded pretty much for the Woodward Sports Network, and everybody here has hopped on board. And you know, it's funny, I was driving into work this morning and I hear other sports networks finally showing some love to this and getting on board. It's like, man, you're a sports network and you don't support kids playing sports? There's something wrong with you. So get your politics out of your ass and let's talk about this, because it has nothing to do with politics.
Nothing at all.
This is mental health. This is us being up to speed with every other state in the country and getting kids back on the court, the rink, the field, the whatever you want to call it. And today at 3 o'clock, there's supposed to be an update on this, right, Joey?
Yeah, so there's a few things actually happening today. And I mean, you know, Terry was just in here and he was calling us soft. And I'm going to be the first one to say that I am soft, but this is the first thing in my entire career where it was a little bit of a controversial thing. I don't know how kids' mental health and protecting these kids is considered controversial,
right?
But it is. So
Right.
I'm accepting of that. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. But it's just one of those things that you realize these kids and what they're going through because we put ourselves in those in their shoes, and it's just something horrible that these kids do not deserve. But before this 3 o'clock Let Them Play press conference goes down, the Michigan House Oversight Committee will hear directly from our new director of the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services at 10:30 today.
So there's a new one? Did they just get appointed?
So there's a lot to it. So
Okay.
the former director, Robert Gordon, we don't even really know why he resigned, but he did. I
Okay.
don't know how recent it was, but this is what I was reading in the news. And it's just, I mean, this is going to be a big moment.
Right.
Because it's crazy, but they make the decision. We play, we don't play. And I am going to use we because this is all of us in the state of Michigan fighting together. And, I mean, there's been a lot of rumors, and we were talking about it earlier in the show, a lot of rumors of people having inside sources saying that winter contact sports will be coming back. So I hope these rumors are true. Don't get your hopes high, but we're here standing up for them. That's all we could say.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping for at 3 o'clock. We know they officially filed a lawsuit earlier in the week on Tuesday, and Joey was on that press conference or that conference call with the lawyer and discussing what they were doing, how they were going through with all this. And today we got, word that there's another press conference coming up at 3. And like we said, through our sources and people that we know that are in the MHSAA, coaches, people that are a part of teams, the buzz lately has been that they're going to push forward with this and we will potentially get sports back, which is completely different than what I heard earlier in the week that, Whitmer and the state were going to double down and just stand their ground and not let these kids play. So, I mean, if everybody's kind of in the same whirlwind like we are, you don't really know what to believe at this point, but we know there's going to be movement one way or another.
I'm just sick of the confusion.
Right.
It's getting pretty old, and the subject is getting tired. We're the only state that is still doing this, and if the numbers are going down, that means that we're doing something right. So why not go ahead and let the kids just go and play, be able to not just get their mental health together, but their physical health. Imagine doing something your whole life you're training to do, or you're training, and then it's always start, stop, so much ambiguity. It's too much. So either just put a hard stop, like, hey, this is not going to happen,
Ever.
or
Right.
just go ahead and let them go through with it. Stop toying with them. That way, when you make a decision and you stand by it, then people are able to go ahead and assess and weigh their options. Maybe I need to go ahead and move my kid to another school in another state so they can go ahead and prepare themselves for that scholarship or their career. But right now, the ambiguity is just a lot, and the governor needs to do a better job of that.
Yeah, and I think that's what's driving people nuts is, it's less safe for these kids to constantly leave the state and go to Indiana, go to Ohio to play sports with other kids from other states, and then come back to Michigan with whatever contact they came into. Now it's being bled back into Michigan instead of just letting these kids who are already in contact in their school. And, you can kind of regulate that a little bit better, do just strictly interleague play, like have Walled Lake only play Walled Lake schools like Howell and Milford out there, and that's it. Like, just get creative with this, because that's where I get lost in this, is that these kids are literally leaving their state on the weekend to go play in an AAU tournament, and then they come back here, and then they can't play. And to me, that's a lot more dangerous than letting these kids just play amongst each other.
My little cousin, they're literally planning their trip right now for an AAU basketball tournament next week. I mean, because there are no games going on here.
And honestly, this is all I got. I'm glad that you're doing that, because the biggest thing that we're forgetting through all of this is parents are the ones that should be making their decisions for their own children.
Right. And also, too, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Kids cannot go play football, get their mental health in. But we got casinos open,
right?
Bowling alleys and stuff are opening.
How much does the government and the state make from high school football going on?
0.0.
Money talks, BS walks, and right now it's a lot of BS walking around with this whole not letting the kids play.
And government's even getting money from these lawsuits that are going down. So it's like we're spending all this money. And anytime you got to reach a point where you have to sue your own government, who's supposed to be there protecting you, who's supposed to be there doing what's right, there's something wrong.
Well, and to take it back to the kids, the ones that are really missing out are the kids that can't afford to go out of state.
Yes.
The kids that, don't have the parents that can trek them out of state. Not saying that the parents that do are bad or anything. Like, it's awesome that you can do that for your kids. But when, we were at the rally and some of the kids were talking, like, this negatively affects kids that are less affluent a lot more than it affects the affluent kids who are already on AAU teams traveling. Parents are paying for it or they're sponsored and stuff like that. It's the secondary kids who don't have the money, who can't leave the state. They're not getting looked at. They're not going to get their scholarships, so they're not going to go to school because they still can't afford school. And the trickle-down effect is just crazy if you really break it down like that.
I mean, to your point, you said about the affluent kids. There are kids who I know that they're depending on this to be able to pay their way through college. Not everybody's like a Johnny Manziel who can screw away a football career, and he's good because his family's affluent.
Right.
Everybody doesn't come from that type of background.
No.
There are people, and the thing is, the one thing that I don't like about it is that because people are not in these kids' shoes or they don't have kids that are affected by this, it seems like they're intentionally going out of their way to not understand what they're going through, and I think that's a load of crap.
So Russell in the comments here said that Whitmer has a press conference at 1:30 regarding high school sports, so that maybe they moved it up from 3 to 1:30, which is great because the sooner we can find out about this, the better. They're already having non-contact practice with all these kids at school, which is like, what the hell is non-contact practice? They just run around a gym?
Are they sending kids back to school, right? They send kids back to school, right?
Yeah.
So why are they not playing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to keep you up to date on all of this as it comes out. Joey, like I said, you've done a great job championing this. And for people who don't know about Joey, let me just kind of tell you a little bit about Joey. You don't really put your foot down and try to make waves on many things. Like you've made a career off people liking you, off people, you being the party guy and people like just loving you for who you are. And for you to take a stance, even though this shouldn't be controversial,
right,
it kind of is. I think it's been liberating for you too.
It has. And listen, my DMs right now are brutal. The amount of hate I'm getting in my DMs, please bring more hate because screw you. I don't care. It's
Twitter
just,
fingers.
Exactly. And it's just one of those things that you choose between what's right and wrong for yourself.
Yep.
And this is one that I don't even view wrong as an option. I think there's two options on this. This is right and this is right. And that is it. Because guess what? If you don't feel safe, you can stay home.
Right. It's that simple.
If you're a parent, if you're a kid, you don't feel comfortable, that's the beauty of living in America. You have the right to choose what you want to do. But when you limit it for the entire state, when we're living in a country where 49, which adds up to 98% of this country, is allowed to play. 98% of high school athletes are getting opportunities to get these scholarships, playing right now, getting a name, getting looks all across the country. But every student athlete in Michigan is not getting that. That is wrong.
I mean, if all the other 49 states are allowing their kids to play and we're the sole one, it almost look like it's a dictatorship here.
Yeah, and that's
and Kelly Stafford got a lot of hate for calling this state a dictatorship, but it's facts.
Now she's moving to California. Good luck.
Right.
She
didn't
like it here. Woo! She's in for him.
Joey, someone was just Russell was just in the comments saying that he met us on Saturday and that Woody looks better than both of us. So,
he does.
Yeah, Woody the dog was out there at the rally.
Stole the show.
So yeah, we're gonna keep covering this every day until it gets right. I mean, essentially, right, Joey?
Amen to that. And I appreciate everybody that's been standing up because you look at Jamie and what she's had to do. Like Facebook even tried to shut her down.
Right.
And it's like, how are you gonna shut someone down for trying to do what's right?
We'll see, man. We'll see. But we got to show a ton of love to the Let Them Play group that has supported us, too, through this. And, we're in this together. Like, that's why we're doing this. This isn't for us to get publicity. Joey did this out of, like I said, I've known Joey 8 years, and this is the first time I've ever seen him stand up for something he believes in his heart. Because you're such a good guy. You don't want to ruffle feathers. But this is something that you so strongly believe in, you're willing to take those DMs.
You realize, like, the world that we live in right now, this cancel culture that is complete garbage, there's 50% that are going to love you. The other 50%, screw you.
and just to reiterate one thing that people really need to know, and Joey said it over and over, this is not a political issue. This is not a black and white issue. This is a what's right issue, and it's all about the kids.
We love the kids. So thank you guys for being a part of this, and thank you for pushing it through. It's awesome how Juwan Howard's hopped on board, Greg Campy. Like I said, other local people now that have sports voices are starting to speak up. Don't know why it took them so long, but hey, who cares? Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we can't control their thoughts. It's on them.
I think at some point they were just trying to hold out hope, like, okay, maybe the governor's going to at one point do the right thing, but now we're at the point of like, okay, what the hell are we doing?
Right. So, yeah, thank you guys. We appreciate it. And like I said, we're going to keep you updated. 1:30 is the press conference. We'll be watching that. And, Joey, we got to give a couple shout-outs that we've missed.
Yes, we do.
Over the course of this show because Terry Foster was just so interesting to talk to. I got to give a shout-out to Grow Green. And this Friday, they have thousands of hard-to-find strains from top breeders. They're doing like a little seed expo at Grow Green. So if you're a local grower and you need anything, grow supplies, you need nutrients, you need water filters, Grow Green is the place to be. It's your chance to score some exclusive beans before anybody else. The seed seller at Grow Green this Friday, 9 to 5. So I might pop out there after the show, man.
They got the hoverboards, too. That's my favorite part about that.
And shout out to PJ, man. PJ's the man. So make sure you hit up growgreenmi.com. You mentioned Woodward Sports, you get a free t-shirt.
Yes, sir.
And you want to talk about LASIK real quick?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I can't see anything inside of that beautiful, huge warehouse that they got there. PJ's amazing, Grow Green, Michigan. All thanks to the Yeldo Eye Center. So I just want to shout out Dr. Yeldo, the amazing team over there. You got Eli, Diana, Dr. Yeldo, the entire crew. I mean, I thank them so much. A custom LASIK with cats. It's the greatest technology out there. Fix your vision. No more glasses, no more contacts. So call 1-800-398-EYES, or you could go to YelloWeyeCenter.com.
Yeah. I mean, we had a couple topics that we actually skipped over today, and we got about 5 minutes before Fish's Facts. So let's just touch on University of Michigan's recruiting class this year.
Man.
Signing day was yesterday. So speaking of high school kids, signing day was yesterday. And how great was it to be able to see young kids actually fulfilling their dreams because of sports?
Amazing.
I mean, man, Michigan did a damn good job. They have the 9th ranked class in the nation, second in the Big Ten, of course, to Ohio State. But I mean, they got some good guys. They got Rashad Benny, George Ruggs. I do not know how to say his name, but Ike. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to pronounce.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. But Rashad Benny, from Oak Park, Michigan, Oak Park High School.
Dude, Donovan Edwards was the biggest get for them.
Oh man,
I watched that kid run at West Bloomfield, and he is honestly, he looked like a mini Jonathan Taylor.
Like he was the best running back to touch the field at Ford Field.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not joking.
For
the
sure.
best.
Watching that playoff game, and then of course their coach left to go coach at Michigan too, and you know they're
staying with him.
There's some rumors about who's going to be the next West Bloomfield coach, but we can get into that at a different time. But yeah, you had Michigan ranked 9. I have them on my list from ESPN ranked 14th.
Oh wow! See, I got this ranking from Rivals.
Okay.
So yeah,
Rivals
had them ranked as the 9th ranked in the nation and second in the Big Ten. But also with Rivals, they had Rashad Benny. They had him ranked as the 9th ranked defensive tackle in the nation. So that's a huge get for Michigan.
Yeah, and on this list, they say their top offensive commit, J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback. He was number 25 in the nation. And top defensive commit, outside linebacker, Junior Colson. He was number 144. But to me, like I said, Donovan Edwards, that's the guy I'm looking forward to seeing the most at the next level. Because he was just so dominant against high school kids.
Now, here's the thing. Michigan always has these, I'm actually supporting them today. That's why I wore it. Knew we were going to talk about it. But Michigan's always bringing in these great classes every year under Harbaugh because he's a great recruiter. When do you actually think it's going to translate into them finally getting that Big Ten title?
See, and this is where I go back and forth with, is college there to prepare you for the next level, or is it there just to succeed in college? Because, yes, Michigan has had a ton of good recruiting classes, and, they haven't really panned out. But then you look at how they turn out their pro prospects, and they pan out. Like Rashawn Gary, when he came to Michigan, it was a big deal. Best defensive tackle in the country. Michigan got him. He didn't do much at Michigan, but you see him in the pros, and he's performing well.
How crazy is that?
So as much as Michigan isn't like turning these kids into great college athletes, they're getting them ready for the pros. So
so with that being said, do you think that people in Michigan or people in media who love Michigan overrate them?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're the talk of town, you know?
Always.
And they're always going to be the talk of town. Yeah, Michigan State, the program's gotten better for football for sure. But when you look at Michigan football, and Harbaugh re-signing was huge for this recruitment class. That's why you saw a whole bunch of people switching where they're going to school. And I'm so happy that they're coming to Michigan because we're going to have a squad now.
Yeah, so let's run down at least the top 10. Alabama coming in at number 1, of course, because they're Alabama. The Buckeyes at number 2. Which I thought was pretty lofty for them. Bulldogs at number 3, Clemson Tigers at 4, LSU Tigers at 5, Oregon Ducks at 6, Texas A&M at 7, Notre Dame at 8, USC at 9, Florida at 10, Miami at 11, North Carolina 12, 13 Oklahoma, 14 Michigan, 15 the Badgers.
I'm glad Notre Dame's on the top 10 because they need all the help in the world right now.
So let's do this. Let's take a quick break. It is 9:50. We'll be right back with Fish's Facts right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
All right, every morning at 9:50, Intern Fish comes on, and if you are new to the show and you don't know about Intern Fish, he stays up till about 4 a.m. every night watching cricket in Australia. He watches rugby. He does. This guy just watches every sport under the sun. And Fish, what is your fact of today?
All right, so I talked about the Six Nations this weekend, rugby. Yes. There's also the Australian Open Major Championship for tennis.
Okay.
And this is the first tournament to be not using line judges. They're going to be using Hawkeye. So it is a 3D technology system which calls the balls in and out. So they're going to have a chair umpire, and that's it. They're going to be using technology for that. So if you know how tennis works,
right?
They have, if the ball is on the line, it's in. If it's outside the line, it's out.
Yep.
So normally they use people behind, about 15 feet behind, to call it whether it's out or in. They're not going to be using technology for that.
The only thing that sucks about that is I'm going to miss like the John McEnroe moments where he's yelling at the side judge. Because who's going to yell at a computer now? And I'm just like, you stupid computer, you got it wrong!
So it started in 2001 by Paul Hawkins, a young British computer expert. And it was first used in tennis in 2006. The Nasquit 100 tournament in Miami was the first one to use it. And then the first Grand Slam to use it was 2006 U.S. Open.
Awesome.
The only other one that still does not use it and is controversial is the French Open because they use clay.
I anticipate baseball going to this at some point too for balls and strikes. I mean, they've toyed with it, but if you can get the calls right 100% of the time, why not go to it?
Yeah, this could lead into maybe baseball, American football, who knows?
Yeah.
Basketball using it.
All right, Fish, you got some prop bets for the Super Bowl, baby?
Yes, I do.
You've been bringing the heat all week
bets.
with these
Dude,
prop
he
bets.
just learned about sports betting a week ago from Adam, and now he is our sports betting expert.
All right, Fish, what are your prop bets for the Super Bowl?
So we have a bunch of them here. We have Tom Brady. Will he be screaming at his teammates? And it says, must be shown on camera.
It must be shown on camera. In replay or live?
It doesn't specify.
Okay.
Hey, that's an inside job, man. The camera coordinator or whatever is going to rig that.
It says, will we have a sideline tantrum?
Oh, see, if I'm Tom Brady, I'm putting $1 million on myself, and then I'm blowing up. Like, that's what I'm stacking the deck in my favor.
So, yes is minus 150.
Okay.
Wow.
What's the other prop bet you got?
The other one is Tampa Bay must lose, and the Giants must name a receiver who did not perform for yes.
For what?
For yes, so will Giselle Bundchen blame a Buccaneers wide receiver?
Oh, so will Giselle blame a Bucs wide receiver if they don't win the game, like for a drop or a missed route or something?
Yes.
Wow. I don't like betting on Giselle.
Yeah, you can. She's too beautiful to do that.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't know what the hell goes through that girl's mind, so I ain't betting on Giselle.
If it was Kelly Stafford, though, we'd be able to bet on that.
All right. You got one more for us, Fish?
Yes. Let's see. Will Tom Brady exit the game for broken hip?
Dang.
With a broken hip? What the hell?
Dang.
Fish.
Couldn't say, will he like sit in the locker room or something?
Right.
Damn.
So those are some prop bets for the Super Bowl. If you want to get in on them, obviously the Super Bowl happening on Sunday at 6:30. If you want to get your prop bets in, what's the line on that?
Yeah, for real.
The line on that is plus 700 yes, minus 6,000 no.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much, Fish.
That should be banned, by the way, in sports betting. You can't bet on an injury.
I mean, it's a joke, man. Breaking his hip. We all know he's not going to break his
Dang.
hip. All right, Joey, it is now time for your dumbass of the day.
Yeah, this is going to be one Fish actually likes because I get to talk about the Tokyo Olympics, which have been postponed to July of 2021. This has been trending. Yoshiro Mori is in some trouble. My man is an idiot. Prompted a lot of outrage after saying that women talk too much in meetings and should have their speaking time regulated. Like, we could all think this, but you don't say that.
No, you shouldn't even think that,
I'm
man.
just saying.
Like, this is not 1930.
I'm just saying, like,
He-Man, woman haters.
Right.
like, damn.
Right. The No Ma'am. Remember that? Al Bundy, the No Ma'am Club?
Like, it's crazy. And then there was a quote, when you increase the number of female executive members, if their speaking time isn't restricted to a certain extent, they have difficulty finishing, which is annoying.
And this guy is the Tokyo 2020 Games chief, and they're going back and forth if they're actually going to play.
Committee president.
Yeah, if they're actually going to play the Olympics this year. There's been some back and forth on that. Florida was actually trying to get the Olympics. It seems like they're going to play it in Japan. But, yeah, you can't come out and say that you can't have women talking in meetings.
So ever since, obviously, he did apologize, saying that it was thoughtless and I'd like to apologize. If calls for my resignation grow louder, I might be compelled to resign, and I am putting 100% bet on this that he has resigned.
What a commitment there.
And who says that, too? Like, hey, I've been thinking about quitting, but if you guys really tell me to, like, I'll really leave.
A dumbass.
If there's enough heat, I'll get out of here. But, you know, if you guys let it slide, we're good, right? We're good. You know, women shouldn't talk, but we're good, right?
You know, if he said that, he's probably said a ton of worse other things.
What about what happens in here? Fuck what he said. All right, let's hit him with the dumbass. You are a dumbass. So
This reminds me of another Marlo Alter. Just another dumbass that's just speaking out of line, and then things are going to come out against him even more after the fact.
Don't be a Marlo. Thank you guys very much for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show this morning. If you missed anything, you can go back and listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you get podcasts, or you can watch it again on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. And thank you guys for sharing, being a part of the morning show. Thank you for Terry Foster for coming in this morning and contributing in a huge way, smacking us all around, telling me I'm not a part of the goddamn Lions.
Telling me that I'm soft when I already know I'm soft.
I already know this.
Hey, y'all caught the heat, not me.
Yeah, well.
You called us all soft.
That's because you got your hair cut, Corey. That's
Yeah.
why you're looking good over there. We'll be back on tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. We got Herman Moore coming on the show, the last Lion to be a part of a team that won a playoff game. So we're going to talk Super Bowl with him tomorrow. Thank you guys for waking up. Baligian and Bell up next at 11 a.m. And if you want to kill some time in between them, Ben's Origins is about to drop in 3 minutes. Go check that out. WoodwardSports.com. Click on podcasts and check out all of our podcasts. Thank you guys very much. Have a great, great Thursday, and it's sunny out.